I will be talking about how we share our experiences in aim to make life better for all the young people coming in this country. As you can see on that video, when I was sharing my experiences, I was laughing, but it was not the case on that time, because when I came first in this country, of course, I have been a lot thing. I have been through a lot thing. I have been through a lot experiences. So it was very hard for me to share. Even the thing that now I'm finding it silly, but on that time it was not silly for me. It was so personal. It was so hard for me to accept it, and I was feeling ashamed. I was feeling like shy. I don't want to share anything. Young citizen, it completely helped me a lot, like to open up myself, because when I go, I'm a person. I don't like when I have a problem, someone to say, "Oh, I feel sorry for you." Completely, it was something that I don't like it personally, and that's why it was one of the things also I didn't want to share my experiences. So when I start with young citizen and I start to go there, I start to see young people who come from the same way as me, even different way, but there was all of them, there was immigrant or refugee, and they was talking about the experiences. There was no crying, but they was laughing at it. And they used like to say, like, if someone say, I have been through this, and you're gonna hear that young person, I say, yes, I have been through that too. So on that time it built my confidence. Like I start to open up to say to myself, like, oh, it's not only me, it's not only me. Over young people here, they're like me. And at that time I started to open up to share my story, because no one, while I was sharing my story, was telling me, oh, I feel sorry for you. No, everyone was like, yeah, I have been through the same thing. And that time make me like, oh, so I'm not alone. I'm not alone. There are other people, or there are other young people here like me. It completely make me feel more like I have people around me who are having the same experiences, even though we used not to live in the same area. But going to young citizens, seeing them all the time, talking to them all the time, it make me build my confidence, it send me to open up, and it completely push me to continue be a young citizen, because all the time I share my experiences, I can see the effect that I do to the other young people that I'm sharing to them, because they are new in this country. They completely need support, because everything you have been through when you came in this country, you just feel like I'm alone, like no one will understand it. So the aim of this session is just like to make them understand you are not alone, even though it's a little thing you're feeling ashamed, like I don't want to share it. Don't feel ashamed, because me, my little story, and all the time I used to cry when I was to think about that. I get lost in bus. Well, my house, it was just about 10 minutes by walk. I was supposed just to walk to go to my house, but I take bus, and I get lost for about 1 hour to come back at home. On that time when I was thinking about that, I used to cry. I didn't want to share it. But after time, when I start to think about that and I start to share it, I start to see like other young people we came with the same thing. Like we feel like, oh, you know what? Me too. I get lost on bus. I get lost on train, and I start to tell them like, don't feel ashamed about. I have been living in UK for about 2 years or 3 years, but I still getting lost on the bus or train. And I can tell them my experiences is making them like building their confidence and feeling no less alone. And it was the one thing that made me keep going. I can say, make all of us young citizens keep going, taking part in this session, because I think everything we share, it had an impact to young person, even though we don't see it straight away, but after time we completely see it, because a lot of young people do come to us, like talk to us, telling us the experiences that is similar to us. So yeah, that's what we're doing to this session, and I'm really proud. I'm really happy to be part of a young citizen.